LAUNCHPAD is a Shark Tank type of event that happens over a couple days where nonprofits and other organizations, even individuals who think they have an innovative idea or approach to solving a problem, can come and have their idea vetted by people who've built companies, entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, just good thinkers overall, who are able to help them refine their idea and get it ready to launch. We were interested in doing a LAUNCHPAD event because we network a lot with other nonprofits who we think are doing terrific work and have great ideas. And we wanted to use LAUNCHPAD as a way to help the ones that we could to be able to take their innovative approaches and scale those up and figure out good ways to do that, to find ways to monetize what they do so that it's not just reliant on nonprofit fundraising that could actually pay for itself over time, those types of things. You could hear really great questions being asked of the project owners and nonprofits, things that would make them really refine the idea that they've developed and think about it in ways that they probably hadn't been up until that point. And I think the questions they were asked would really help them get ready to take their idea to the next level. I think the groups are going to take the advice and ideas that they got from LAUNCHPAD and really go in different directions. We have some that are going to be focused on rebranding, and thinking about how they communicate the idea that they've come up with. Others, because of the advice they were given, may be going in a very new direction. But I think overall the lesson is that LAUNCHPAD has helped them refine and develop their idea in a way that's going to be more successful and in many cases scalable as they start to launch their projects.
My name is Andy Cook and I lead Promise 686. We take our name from an Old Testament verse, God sets the lonely in families, Psalm 68:6. And our intention is to make that promise of setting the lonely into families a reality across this nation. Currently we serve in 22 states. We're privileged to work with over 600 different churches. And our work with them is really just to help them find and support families because children need strong families. We brought a particular project to LAUNCHPAD and we loved our experience with LAUNCHPAD because this particular program needed a lot of help. We needed some ideas about how to think about it. As we originally brought it to LAUNCHPAD and to that brain trust, I think we saw it as simply a software that we designed to help do volunteer coordination within the churches we were serving. It was a software that helped mobilize churches, and we were wondering, could that software have other uses? Could it help other isolated, lonely, or vulnerable individuals have the support of volunteers around them? And so we wondered specifically, could it be a revenue generator for our organization to help us do our core mission, and could we in fact sell it in some way, shape, or form so that other organizations could help other individuals and we could do more of the work that is primary to our mission in mobilizing churches to care for vulnerable kids. Well, the platform, again, Promise Serves, in our mind, could be independent. And the evolution of the conversation with the brain trust at LAUNCHPAD went from, we think this software platform can be independent and generate revenue, to, oh my goodness, based upon your questions, it's totally codependent on a broader ministry model. And then we had to parse that out to understand with the group how what we do in developing family advocacy ministries, we call them FAMs, these ministries we launch with churches, how that works, and then how Promise Serves as a platform could be different. So we went from an independent mindset to, oh my goodness, we're totally codependent on our broader ministry model, to, by the end, feeling really empowered that through sort of filtering through the brain trust, there is something on the other side of that, a product, a software platform that could be entirely beneficial to other organizations and could generate some revenue.
Hey, this is QUEVEDO with Corners Outreach, and we had been a participant in the last LAUNCHPAD program not too long ago. Our program focused on lowering really the issues of vocational programs, pathways, trade school pathways that are currently at 11 grade and above, we identified some issues with our students and our programming that recommended those programs need to be started at a much earlier age to help, one, fill the wage skill gap, and two, encourage students to continue staying in school and really focus on vocations as the answer towards educational success. Our initial thought process was either to work within the school system, or was it really to focus on building out a trade or vocational program ourselves with business partners in the local communities?
Hi, my name is Amy Ard. I am the Executive Director of Motherhood Beyond Bars, and our mission is to support infants who are born to incarcerated women and reunify families. And honestly, I don't think without being a part of LAUNCHPAD, I could so neatly describe what the mission of our organization is. I'm a pretty wordy person, and over the course of 2 days, the Brain Trust members, the folks associated with LAUNCHPAD, really helped me distill down our mission and vision into a very short statement. The project that we brought to LAUNCHPAD is really a first of its kind project in Georgia. We work with the people that come to a hospital to pick up a baby after that baby has been born to a woman who's going back to prison, to make sure that that family has what they need to support that child and make a healthy reunification with the mother when her sentence is over. Right now, we are the only organization in Georgia that is doing this kind of work with infants and caregivers and mothers in prison. And it really came out of a need to do programming for the population of people that we serve when we could no longer enter prisons. Because of COVID, our organization used to work entirely inside of prisons, and now we're having to find very critical ways to support those same people outside of the prison walls.
My name is Chelsea SABO, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Foster Care Alliance. Just a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go through something called LAUNCHPAD. LAUNCHPAD was an amazing experience where different people on what they called the Brain Trust spoke into my project and into my organization to help me determine what the best next steps for growth were. When I first started LAUNCHPAD, I pitched my idea as this. I started the Foster Care Alliance just 4 years ago, and from there we've been working with mothers who were experiencing trauma and needed a trauma intervention in order to be reunified with their children out of the foster care system. With that, I wanted to know how we should grow, what we should hire, how we should begin to move forward. And so I was asking for that kind of advice. In that, the Brain Trust members asked me so many different questions about who I was serving and what my mission was, who my audience was, and honestly really helped me clarify so many of those questions. In that, we looked at success rates, and we looked at the fact that in our organization, we were working with two very different populations. Moms who were needing to be reunified with their children out of foster care, and moms that we were trying to prevent their children ever coming into foster care. You see, foster care is very interesting because 84% of children who come into foster care come in for solvable issues. Prevention is always better, but there wasn't much of that in our story. And so with that said, they started asking me about our success rates. They started asking me about our referrals. And we quickly realized that 70% of the moms that were being referred to us were moms who were family preservation. Their kids were not in foster care, and they were really looking to avoid it altogether. Not only that, but when we looked at our success rate and our retention rate, 90% of the moms from family preservation who started our program completed it successfully. The rate for reunification readiness was very different. And I think much of that comes with the fact that the moms in family preservation were very much choosing our program. They wanted to be a part of it. They were referring their friends, and they were with us in all of it. The LAUNCHPAD Brain Trust members really leaned into that with me. One actually jokingly said, well, you shouldn't be called Foster Care Alliance anymore. You should be called Foster Care Avoidance. What would it look like if 84% of kids in foster care never came into care because we solved the problems first? That was what we were really trying to do. And so they started talking with me about how we could lean into that. From there, it evolved over the next couple of days, and we decided to do a pivot with our organization. we decided that we needed a name change. We needed to rebrand what our vision was, taking the same mission of avoiding kids coming into care, taking the same mission of reducing children in foster care, but doing it from a positive perspective where maybe we could avoid it up front.
We want to do strategic alignment. We want to see how does this software fit in better. So working back into how does it fit in better into our development strategy as an organization in the next 4 to 5 years, and putting together a stronger development plan that's inclusive of Promise Serves, and finding capital just to fund it. We can get so caught up on how it could generate earned revenue. Well, this is a powerful idea. It's really needed in churches. So we need to be more inclusive in terms of how it will fit our development strategy.
We came away knowing some things we needed to do immediately. We need to do a better job of telling our story and communicating to our supporters. We need to make sure that we tell stories in a responsible way, using the people that we have worked with to let others know how important our work is, and to be very careful in the way that we tell those stories. And we've gotten to work right away. Our social media accounts are reinvigorated. Our end of the year appeal is going out soon. We even have an innovative fundraising event that will be on Zoom, like everything else these days, in February, that aligns really well with our mission and our logo. And we're moving forward with a lot of energy.
It was important for us to get down, just for ourselves, to really get down the ideas, perfect them, think it over. Really, what is the problem that we're trying to solve? Who are the stakeholders? Who is involved? How are we thinking about this from the right perspectives? And really getting other people's perspectives was key for us. And writing that down, brainstorming them, and merging them together with our initial thoughts was very helpful.
It was amazing afterwards, going to people and telling them about it. My board loved it. They'd been talking to me about this for over a year now, of what that might look like. My staff said, I think we can win at this. And those people that we work with in the Department of Family and Children Services were so excited they couldn't stop dreaming of all the ideas. And in fact, we've even partnered on trying to figure out next steps for this. And we definitely learned a ton from LAUNCHPAD. We're going to take that and we're going to use it to pivot our organization and to grow it in a new direction. Next year, we'll be working with family preservation moms, avoiding those children coming into care. And because of that, we'll be adding in a child program where now we're going to do complete trauma interventions with those children as well. We believe that we can transform communities, advocating for healthy families, one mom at a time.
I think other groups should definitely check out LAUNCHPAD. It is a powerful way to get a brain trust, or really kind of a temporary board of expert advisors to dive into your work. They come in unbiased. They don't know your history. They don't know everything about you. They're just hearing you and your idea, and their relationship with you, positive or negative, that's irrelevant too. They're just listening to the pure idea and vetting that. That pure vetting was powerful for us.
I think LAUNCHPAD is a fantastic opportunity for new nonprofits or old nonprofits. I think what you need to be willing to do is create change in your organization, reinvigorate, think about things a new way, because the experts that come to the table want you to succeed, but they may push you to do things that you hadn't thought of before, maybe you thought wouldn't work, and you can see things in a new way if you're really open to hearing what they're saying.
You're asking for help to pinpoint ideas that you aren't seeing, right? So you spend some time analyzing it, you understand what the issues are, but there's still some concerns or questions that you, just because you've been in this for so long, just aren't seeing, or maybe you're not approaching it from the correct manner.
But for us, this really helped us determine what our next steps for growth were. If you ever feel like as a leader that there's something missing, that you know a lot about one thing but not about another, and you just need wisdom and advice, your board of directors is wonderful at that, but sometimes having people come in who are not emotionally invested in your project really are able to bring advice that you've never thought of. I was asked some questions that were some of the hardest questions I've ever been asked about what we do at Foster Care Alliance, but those questions for me really turned into to this pivot that will now make our organization even stronger.
We've got a number of other nonprofits that we would love to put through the accelerator LAUNCHPAD process because of the quality of their ideas. And we have a number of people who've shown interest in actually serving as part of our brain trust to vet those ideas again. So yeah, we're definitely in.